Hey everybody, welcome to 10 Minute Tuesday. My name is CrysDawna, and if you are new here, we do things on Tuesday where we talk about things in the business, or you guys ask me questions and I answer them. And today is going to be, it's a little bit, I'm gonna open myself up a little bit to you guys. So be kind. If you don't have anything nice to say in the comments, keep it to yourself, okay? So I'm gonna set my timer, keep myself on a 10 minutes. So here's 10 minutes. I was gonna answer a question, I had it all ready, and I was gonna answer a question about sandpaper, right? I promise you I'll answer that question. I'll answer that question next week. But sometimes I feel like the universe does things and there's a reason for things. And so I had someone comment on my YouTube channel about how I take criticism really well. And I wanted to kind of explain why, how, a little bit about me and why and how I have been able to overcome adversity, okay? So first of all, I'm fairly new to YouTube. I am on all the platforms, and over on Facebook, I have almost 40,000 followers. So I have almost 40,000 followers on Facebook. Instagram, I don't really work on that much. Truth be told, I can't stand it. I don't know why, I just don't. So that has been a super slow moving one, but there's like 15,000 on there. You know, I have a Pinterest, I think that's at like 1.8 million. And I don't say these numbers to like be like, look at me. What I'm saying is that I have been around for a little bit. So I may be new on YouTube to some people, but on the other platforms, I'm not brand new. I have been doing this furniture thing for almost 5 years. I have been an influencer for probably a little over 3 of those. So how have I been able to deal with adversity or criticism? One, it's not that it doesn't hurt my feelings, because sometimes it does, but I will have to credit my husband. He is very level-headed, and we really help each other. So if he's upset about something, I bring him level, same what he does to me. And sometimes he's brutally honest. So my husband is, and I love him so much, but he is super brutally honest with me, and he doesn't just tell me what I want to hear, which helps. And I also have a very close-knit group of friends that is like that too. So that's why I tell people, you know, make sure that you have people in your life that are not just trying to inflate you and always tell you everything is nice, but people that are going to check you and be like, hey, calm down, or this isn't so bad. So a lot of it's the people that I've surrounded myself with. But if we go back in time, so I came from my biological father. I have a stepbrother, stepsister, a brother, a sister, and then myself. And my name, so a lot of people ask me where my name comes from. So my name comes from my older sister who passed away. She drowned when my mom was 9 months pregnant with my brother, my older brother, who is 13 months older than me. And her name was Crystal and her middle name was Dawn. So I was born into a mother who had a lot of grief, okay? And I love my mom. She has done the best that she could with what she had. I mean, if you can imagine as a parent losing your child and you're 9 months pregnant with a baby, like I can't even fathom. So, but my biological father was an alcoholic and he was abusive. So I grew up a little bit of my life seeing that. At 5 years old, having to call 911 because your mom is getting hit is one of those things that these things teach you how and I would never want any child to go through that. And I don't think that you need to go through these things to have grit and be able to get through adversity, but this is my story. So back and forth, he's in and out of our lives. So basically I was raised by a single mom. My mom did meet my stepdad, who is a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. So he was done. He was sober when he got with my mom, thank God. So my mom did the best she could. She didn't introduce us to a lot of people growing up, as far as like, when there wasn't like men in and out of the house or anything like that. So I saw my mom be strong and work hard and go back to school and raise these 3 kids by herself. But then, when I was in 7th grade, my biological father, he died of a drug overdose. And so that was one thing as a kid, it's kind of embarrassing when you talk about it and people are like, oh, what happened? And you're like, oh, no one knows. Like I wouldn't say I would lie, because I never lied about how he died. It would just be like, oh, we don't know. Well, I did know, but it was embarrassing. So I talk about it now, but I come from a family that I'm the only one, and I smoked cigarettes years ago. I know, surprise, right? But I'm the only one that doesn't smoke cigarettes. Each one of my siblings have dealt with addiction or alcoholism. Those are things that I don't deal with. But I also have a husband who is very supportive, and I'll drink wine every once in a while, but those are not things that I deal with because I made conscious decisions. When I was 11, I think, I was sexually abused. And so that's something that I don't tell a lot of people. But I think when you go through things in your life, these are things that make you who you are, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you all this stuff is because today I got tagged on Facebook, and I got tagged in a picture from 1994, okay? So I was in elementary school in 1994. And that was the worst year of my school life. It was a class picture, okay? I was beat up by boys on the bus. I was made fun of so bad in that class. I would cry under the teacher's desk. She would leave the room, and that was like when they would attack me. That was the worst time of my life. And so here I am going to talk about sandpaper, and instead I'm like, you know what? I'm going to explain to everybody why I'm able to get through what I'm able to get through. So I got through that. It was 2 years of just utter bullying. I'm in my mid-30s now, and I still remember that. So for me as a parent, I make sure that I'm not a hawk on my kids, but I make sure that they treat people the way that they want to be treated. And I do not put up with people being mean to me. If you are bullied to me on social media or in person, I'm not going to put up with it. I'll either just delete you or ignore you, because I've been through so much. I don't have time to deal with someone being mad if I paint a piece of furniture or thinking it's ugly like that. So this gives you an idea of why those things do not matter to me. I don't care what someone has to say when it comes to painted furniture, because I've been through way more and dealt with way more than someone not liking something that I painted. Does that mean that every person has gone through things or should have to go through things to be able to get through this business? No, but I think you need to find, and I purposely wore this shirt because although I am a brand ambassador for Dixie Belle, this is not a product pitch for Dixie Belle, because I get it. Some people like what they like, and that's fine. But this says friends, right? We have since added a few people, but this is a group of women who not only will they tell me, hey, CrysDawna, you're being a little bit dramatic about this, or we talk about everything. This is my tribe. These are my people. And that's really important. I have a few best friends outside of the furniture painting world, but what I have done is I have surrounded myself with people who will show me love, and also, say, hey, this, you could change this. And so I think that's really important for people. And again, my history of growing up, that kind of gives you an idea. That's why I have a master's degree in psychology. My mom is bipolar. I had to deal with my mom being bipolar and being misdiagnosed through high school. So when I was 18, I left home because I could not stand my mom. But now that I'm older, I realized, there was a few years after that, and it all kind of came to a head, and I realized that my mom has so much trauma that she was not dealing with. She couldn't deal with because she had kids that, first of all, they diagnosed her with major depression, not bipolar. So she was medicated on the wrong stuff, being treated for the wrong stuff. Plus, you know, she lost a child but didn't have a chance to grieve, and then had my brother, then had me, and then had my little sister. So it was just a different time back then. You know, when our parents had kids, it was just a different time. And so I've had to deal with that. I've rekindled my relationship with my mom. I love her, but there's just a lot. So I kind of opened myself up to you guys. I didn't really mean to. I didn't intend to. We only have 25 seconds left. There's a lot of other things that have happened, but I did want to say, as far as social media is concerned, this is not my first platform, and honestly, I feel like people on YouTube are way nicer than people on other platforms. I have gone live on platforms where people have been nasty to me and said nasty things, and you just have to learn. Like, when you're live and someone's doing that, that's like puts you on the spot, where that really shows your character, and that really shows like how you deal with it. And I've just learned to kind of ignore them. And there's another platform, like I've been on quite a few platforms that have like millions of followers, and you get good people on there, and then you get the trolls. And there have been times where, like, I like Home Talk, I like the people at Home Talk, but the followers on there are just so mean. And so, like I said, I'm not new to the social media world. Excuse me, I'm newer to YouTube, but I think because I put myself out there so much, I have learned how to deal with people who are trolls. And so my biggest advice to you is to take your life lessons that you've dealt with, and maybe you haven't dealt with stuff, and that's okay. So surround yourself with positive people that you can go to. Maybe you get a nasty comment, you know, screenshot it and send it to one of your people in your tribe, so that you guys can talk it through and they can make you feel better. And this sounds really, really crappy, but it's really about desensitization. I've become desensitized to a lot of those comments because it's all the same. You know what I mean? It's the same stuff over and over and over, whether it's my hair or something like that. And so I just became desensitized to it. Maybe it's not the right thing, but that's kind of what happened. So thanks for letting me tell you guys a little bit about myself. And I opened up to you guys because this has become more than just furniture painting for me. I've had a lot of people open up to me about their life, their struggles, whether it's mental health or something that they're going through. They've lost a child, they've lost a husband. And I've dealt with some things. I've dealt with, you know, I had an ectopic pregnancy when my husband and I first got together, and then we had to do infertility with my daughter. So there's just a lot of things. There's a lot of layers to the things that have happened in my life, and that has shaped me to who I am today. And so that kind of gives you guys an example or story of who I am. I know sometimes you wonder what the background is of somebody and how are they able to like shrug that off? Well, that kind of shows you like someone not liking this is the least of anything that I've been through. So keep perspective, guys. That's really all it's about, is I keep perspective and what really is important. Is it important that someone doesn't like your painted furniture? No, it's not. Is it important that you treat people kind and that the people in your life know that you love them, care about them? That's way more important. It doesn't matter what some stranger says on the internet. So that's it, guys. Thanks for letting me open up to you. If you don't have anything nice to say, just scroll on by. All right. I promise we'll talk about sandpaper next week. And I do have a furniture painting video coming out. That was deep. That was heavy. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.